And just as economists had predicted, Nigeria's headline inflation rate climbed higher to a 17-year high, 19.4% in July, up from 18.60% recorded in June. This is according to the latest report released by the National Bureau of Statistics. The figure, which also marks the sixth consecutive monthly rise in inflation, is 2.27% higher on a year-on-year basis than 17.38% recorded in September 2005. A breakdown of the NBS data shows that Nigeria's urban inflation rate rose by 2.08% to 20.09% in July 2022 from 18.01% recorded July the previous year, while the rural inflation rate jumped from 16.75% to 19.22% on a year-on-year comparison. Both indexes were unchanged within the comparative month. Interestingly, the food inflation rate in July declined by 0.01% to 2.04% in month-on-month contrast against the 2.05% rate recorded in June 2022. And this is attributed to a reduction in the prices of basic food items such as gari, yams, maize and vegetables. Similarly, food inflation over the previous 12-month period dropped by average 1.42% to 18.75% from the average annual rate of 20.16% recorded in July 2021. The economic interpretation of the rising inflation number means that Nigerians are not able to purchase as much goods and services with their monies, as the value of their income has been eroded due to rising costs.
Well, joining me now is the Managing Director of Financial Derivatives Company, Bismarck Rewane. I'm just going to join you over here on this huge screen because we have some figures to look at, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Now, you already made this prediction last week about inflation rising. How did you do it?
Well, tricks of the trade. I wouldn't tell you. But again, any, mini, money, more. But the point is that we had our regression, we had our econometric model, and bingo, 19.6. There we go.
And I'm supposing that a slide is supposed to come up now when we're supposed to see, how well we did in the month of July. This is what we're looking at. Right? Headline inflation is 19.64%, consistent with FDC projection.
Absolutely.
Which is your projection, of course. Food inflation up by 1.42%.
To 22%.
Yeah.
And then core inflation, which is inflation less seasonalities and other things, is at 16.25. But what is most important here is that monthly inflation. This inflation of 19.64, if you go back, that inflation of 19.64 compares the price of a basket in July 2022 with a price of a basket in July 2021. But if you go back to the monthly inflation, which is the monthly inflation which measures last month versus this month, that has actually started declining and actually increasing at a slower pace. So the good news is that inflation is beginning to moderate.
But why is that? Why is the monthly inflation slowing?
Well, first and foremost, consumers are broke, right? I don't know about you, but those are talking, we're all broke, right? We are living on a shoestring, right? Consumer price resistance. People are eating less, so it's fashionable to say we are losing weight. Because
it's also healthy to lose weight.
It's healthy to lose weight, but it's convenient in your pocket. The naira has appreciated from 715 to 680. This is the major culprit. So, and then the price of diesel has come down from 820 to 775. So these are the factors that stoke inflation. All of them are moderating, and that is why we are seeing this monthly inflation declining actually increasing at a slower pace than the annual inflation.
But it hits home, it hits closer home when you have to talk about food, right? Because food prices are also appreciating. I'm wondering what relation that has with these figures.
Well, no. You see, last month or 2 months ago, there was a planting season. Now we are going to the harvest season. So, but global food prices have come down, right?
Right.
Thank God, Ukraine, we were able to ship things out of Ukraine. And therefore, we are beginning to see price of wheat, price of maize, and price of some of the sugar actually began to decline, right? So what does it tell you? The next slide goes on to tell you that why Nigeria is not alone. Nigeria is not an outlier. You see, Ghana went up to 31.7%. They just announced the inflation. Next to Ghana is Angola, 21.4%. In fact, Angola, the inflation actually declined. Nigeria is the third there, 19.64%. Then Rwanda, which is one of the fastest growing economic miracles of Africa, actually is at 19.6%. So it's all right if you are growing fast and you're having inflation. We call that a natural trade-off. Yeah. Then Zambia is actually at 9.9%. So no big deal.
Yeah, but why do you say Nigeria is an outlier?
Nigeria is not an outlier.
No, sorry, why do you say Nigeria is not an
outlier? Because everybody is affected, almost everybody. Because, first of all, global inflation is feeding back into the African region, and Nigeria is just one of those. But that doesn't take away from the fact that we had some structural problems before now, right? So, but at least some of the measures that are being taken may be beginning to see good. So let's go state by state. It depends on where you live.
Right. So there are differences, in the inflation rates in states across Nigeria.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Let's start with the poor performers. Akwa Ibom, 22.88, right? This is in the south-south. Ebonyi State in the south is 22.51 from last month to this month. Kogi State, so it's cross. This is in the northwest, north central. This is in southeast, and this is Akwa Ibom. Let's see those who are doing well and why. Can you go back a bit? Go back one slide, please.
Changing.
Okay, now, what we are seeing here is that Jigawa has the lowest inflation rate. That's in the northwest. Kaduna is in the northwest. And then Borno State in the northeast. Why is this happening? Because they're producing a lot of food there, but the food cannot get out of there because of insecurity and all those things that are happening, bandits. And so there's plenty of food there, but it can't go out. And there's little food here, and it can't get across. So you've got to deal with security now, right? Apart from other things. And finally, what next? The GDP numbers are going to be released on August 26th. If they are positive, we believe that MPR will be left unchanged because what it means is that the economy is beginning to grow again. Harvest season begins in Q3. Global oil prices are down from 125 to 93 today. They're going to go slightly lower. And global inflation is down. The US, which is the world's largest economy, 25% of the global output, inflation came down from 9.1 to 8.5%. China is beginning to see they had slower growth. So basically, what it means that in the month of August, now it's 19.64. In the month of August, inflation will go slightly higher to 19.7. And then in September, it comes down to 19.3. After that, so again, cautiously optimistic. If all of these things begin to happen, maybe we'll have a good Christmas.
Happier days for the fourth quarter of the year, right? Fingers crossed.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, Bismarck. A pleasure having you here.